Alright, so I want to show my shadow band comment here because it's actually pretty poignant. Alright, so the first 30 seconds here, I've increased the playback speed because it takes 30 seconds and I don't want to wait 30 seconds. Anyway, I've probably talked for more than 30 seconds now, so here it is.
Can I ask you a question, Brady? What is the most difficult way to earn $1 million?
Making YouTube videos.
Well, you probably know much more about that than I do. One of the most difficult ones is to solve one of the millennium problems in mathematics, which were set by the Clay Mathematical Institute in the year 2000. One of these problems is called the Riemann hypothesis, and it refers to a work of a German mathematician, Bernhard Riemann.
Okay, so what he's saying is one of the hardest ways to earn $1 million is to solve the Riemann hypothesis. Plenty of people have done this. It's been laid out for a long time, and it remains unsolved. This is a 9-year-old video. I've seen this video multiple times. I have no problem with the video, but I was looking at this. I looked at it again yesterday, to like refresh myself on some things, and that intro, it struck me because I think I have an explanation for why. One of the reasons why this is so difficult. Okay, and here, so I commented on it, but I'm shadow banned, so nobody can see this. So I'm going to read it. Okay, it's worth keeping in mind that the mathematicians who initially turned away Évariste Galois when he first presented the ideas which became Galois theory were about as skilled at understanding and using subtraction as an average second grader in the US is today. And their reason for rejecting Galois was that he, quote unquote, wasn't rigorous enough. George Peacock's 1830 publication outlining how to perform subtraction specifically calls out the community of French mathematicians for their nonsensical notions regarding subtraction. The very community of French mathematicians who claimed Galois was insufficiently rigorous, only a matter of months previously. But nobody remembers things that way because it's unflattering and reveals chinks in the propaganda that math is foremost about rigor and truth. There's something very basic to a community attempting to solve a problem, and that's the fact that the community will reject good ideas, which will lead to progress toward a solution. And they will do this on the grounds that those good ideas break tradition. But the very existence of the problem in the first place means that tradition is failing you, so adhering to it and using it as a guide is inherently foolish. My point is that it's very likely the case that the Riemann hypothesis hasn't been proven right or wrong, specifically because it's so famous within the community, with everyone having opinions and explanations, and all of those opinions and explanations necessarily being wrong, because none of them lead to a valid confirmation one way or the other. The community itself is actively and aggressively stifling progress with its own foolishness. When everyone is forced to think one way, and that one way is already known not to work, the problem should be obvious. But egotism, on the part of community members, prevents them from seeing the obvious, which is namely the egotism on the part of the community members. Even though they openly know that they're wrong, they'll insist that their understanding is correct, which is just stupid. And if that's why I'm shadow banned, that's stupid. I have a very simple example. Consider the claim that 1 plus 1 is 2 compared to basic observations in everyday life. We've seen this list before. This exact list I just outlined in another video. 1 dog plus 1 dog is 2 dogs. Oh, 1 plus 1 is 2. Proven. End of story, right? 1 dog plus 1 quail is 2 wings. So 1 plus 1 is 2, but that's not for the right reason. That's the wrong reason. Shit. 1 dog plus 1 quail is 6 legs. Wait, 1 plus 1 is 6 now. What's going on here? 1 foot plus 1 yard is 48 inches. 1 half plus 1/3 is 5/6. 1 frog plus 1 pond is 1 pond. 1 cup of water plus 1 cup of dirt is some mud. It's not 2. It's undefined. But, Principia Mathematica, 1910, Alfred Whitehead and Bertrand Russell claim to have proven that 1 plus 1 is 2, utilizing a logical foundation of mathematics. Ironically, a tradition firmly rooted in Peacock's aforementioned 1830 publication. However, we can see from basic concepts like unit conversions, fraction addition, like terms, etc., that this is bullshit. And again, if this is why I'm shadow banned, that's bullshit. 1 plus 1 most certainly does not equal to in the generic case. Rather, addition only behaves as Whitehead and Russell claimed it does when the units on all terms are commensurate, meaning that the system of mathematics they allege to have constructed, one based around operations over numbers, is not in fact a system of mathematics that is based around operations over numbers. It doesn't work the way they claimed it did, since it necessarily operates over objects which are a combination of number and unit, more conventionally known as vectors. You can't add 1 and 1. This should obviously tell us that we need to establish our dimensions before we do anything in mathematics, but this really isn't the standard way of things. It also tells us that arithmetic shouldn't work over unsigned numbers, like the naturals, which again goes against tradition. And I expect that everyone who's read to this point will object to basically everything I'm saying. Joke's on me, nobody can read this. But if they stop to consider why, the reason will simply be their own ego and appeals to tradition. No, it'll be because Numberphile shadow banned me. In truth, we can take the observations I've made here, tinker with them just a bit, and end up with a single expression which unifies everything from number definition to multivariable calculus. For simplicity, I'll only show you the unification from multiplication through multivariable calculus, but since multiplication is just iterated addition, and addition is derived from the things which yield numbers and defined dimensions in the first place, the full unification is clearly possible. Anyway, this following expression unifies multiplication, division, exponents, roots, derivatives, integrals, logarithms, and n volumes. And there it is, and you should recognize that from previous videos. This is clearly not a binary operation. It appears that there's more than 2 terms there. Like addition and multiplication are classically. And importantly, it is fully commutative if the loop is unrolled. This loop here, indicated by the R. Z naught defines the reference frame. R indicates that we repeat the pattern it's appended to. K is the number of repetitions for that R, and B is the resultant transformed reference frame. Z, X, and B are all base 1 polynomials whose kth term can be pulled at random, because by definition, a base 1 polynomial is an ordered list, and specifically, exactly the sort of ordered list that matrices are built of. So there's absolutely no reason to add on separate notion of ordered lists or even matrices. Here are some examples. Multiplication, division, exponentiation, including an account of y, a base of 0 doesn't change what an exponent of 0 gives you. If the exponent is 0, the result is 1 regardless of the base, because we just don't do anything with this part. It doesn't occur. All we get is the original reference frame passing through untransformed, because this is an identity. This is an identity transformation which doesn't do anything. This is well behaved if x is 0. Your account of exponentiation can't do that, let alone be unified with all of this other shit. Again, if that's why I'm shadow banned, that's shit. Yet you're going to try to fight me, saying that I don't understand as well as you do. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. X to the negative 3. Oh, it's division because the negative of multiplication is division. The inverse. Hey, there's roots, there's integration, there's differentiation, there's multiple integrals, there's n volumes. So we're looking at, for our examples are the area of a triangle and the volume of a sphere, and there you go. And logarithms are simply looking for k instead of b. Right? So we're looking for the number of repetitions instead of the transformed reference frame. Okay, and then despite the fact that this works, and I've just shown that it works, I guarantee most people will impulsively claim that I don't understand what I'm talking about. And that show of unadulterated hubris, that's my point. That's my point. That's probably why the Riemann hypothesis is so difficult to solve. Now, here, if I log out of my account and look for these comments, they're hidden. This alone confirms my point. Most likely the moderators of this channel have hidden the things I say because they don't personally like them. And since this is speculation, so I could be wrong. And since the only things I say in comments on this channel are things which illustrate issues with the reasoning and conclusions drawn in the videos, this absolutely confirms that I'm correct regarding egotism being the main motivator of acceptance in the community. So even if the problem is the profanity, the casual profanity that is very lightly sprinkled through here, if that's the problem, it's still a matter of ego. Because what's happening is the moderators are looking at me and they're like, oh, I'm better than him. I don't use profanity in public. Ban. That is a matter of ego. No matter what the reason for the shadow ban is, it is a matter of ego. And I think if they understand what I'm saying, then it's actually the thing that I'm talking about right here is the reason. Which is super ironic. That's actually why, when I wrote this, I was like, wait, I haven't seen a response to any of my comments on Numberphile in quite a while. It might be on the order of years at this point. I'm not sure. So I logged out and checked if I could find my comment. Right? Because it seemed poignant. This is what I'm talking about. Like, why are you censoring people who are giving you alternative ways to think about things? If they're wrong, and they just lose because they're wrong. That's fine. Allow that to happen. But no, you actively push people out of the space if they don't follow the traditions that you like, and then you wonder why nobody can solve certain problems. It's probably because you're doing that. That's probably the problem. I wonder